In this lesson, I'm going to be talking about two principles in physics, pressure and impulse, and how they apply to football. Pressure is determined by force and area. The formula for pressure is force divided by area. For example, a carpenter is able to drive a nail into a board due to the small area that the nail has compared to the amount of force that the hammer delivers. Because the nail has such a small area, by striking the nail consistently, there's enough pressure applied to the nail onto the board for the nail to go through. Now, in terms of football, during the early stages of football, they used leather helmets, which were flimsy, soft, and not as durable as the helmets we use today. The flimsy leather helmets they used did not have the ability to distribute the force over a large area like the helmets we use today that are made out of polycarbonate and that contains a face mask.
Unlike those flimsy leather helmets, the helmets we use today has a polycarbonate on the outside and foam in the inside, as well as a face mask to help distribute the force. The face mask, upon impact, will help deliver the blow all the way across the helmet, unlike the leather helmets back in the old days, which did not have a face mask, which resulted in direct impact to the face, which, as I've said, the pressure the player feels will be much higher due to the less area that the force covers. This new, harder, and sturdier material is able to distribute the force all across the helmet, which in turn reduces the pressure the player feels due to the increase of area that the force is applied.
Now for impulse. Impulse relies on force and duration. Impulse is force times duration. Like before, players used to use flimsy leather shoulder pads that did not cover much of their upper body as a way of protecting their upper body. These leather shoulder pads didn't have the ability to distribute the force across the entire body like the shoulder pads we use today. Shoulder pads nowadays have a plastic outing with foam on the inside, which also covers the rib cage, which the previous models did not do. Shoulder pads do two things on impact. They deform to absorb some of the impact, as well as disperse the impact among the entire body so that the impact lasts for a longer duration. By making the force last for a longer duration, there's less impulse the player feels upon impact. Now in a video I'm going to show you two different types of collisions that are felt by players. One that lasts for a very short period of time and one that lasts for a longer period of time. By showing you this, I hope that I can help you visualize how duration impacts the impulse that a player does feel.
Here comes the, y'all don't really want it like, yeah. Here comes the, no. Here comes the, oh. Here comes the, y'all don't really want it like, yeah. Here comes the, no. Here comes the, oh. Here comes the, y'all don't really want it like, E-double-L. I said so, I keep big bills up in my hood on the dirty like blood, so ain't got no.
Bring the action.
As you can see, the two players that felt the collision for a shorter period of time felt a much bigger impact, which in turn is a much bigger impulse felt by that player. As well as developments in pads and helmets, there's also been developments in gloves for receivers and many other positions on the field to help you catch the ball. Although the principles of impulse and pressure do not specifically apply to these gloves, the principle that does apply in physics is the coefficient of friction. The coefficient of friction, or as you can say, the stickiness of the glove, has the ability to help stop the ball 3 times faster than without gloves. Maybe this can explain some of the amazing catches we see all around the football world. But I understand the physics behind pressure and impulse, Scientists are able to make technological advancements in football to help players have a less likelihood of becoming injured. Now, I hope after watching this video, you're able to understand the physics side of football and not just the physical side.